The unknown bond. Helen sat in her office, scanning through financial reports with the precision that had earned her the title of the most efficient accountant at Royale Group of companies. She had worked tirelessly to rise through the ranks, and she was proud of what she had accomplished. Yet, a part of her life remained a mystery, a husband she had never seen, a man she was married to but had never met. Paul had been studying abroad when his father, Chief Olumide, arranged the marriage. His father had suffered heartbreak in his youth and was determined to ensure his son never experienced the same betrayal. Helen, known for her beauty and intelligence, was chosen as Paul's wife. She had accepted her fate with grace, trusting that one day Paul would return. For years, their only connection had been through brief phone calls. Their conversations were always polite but distant. Paul, now a billionaire entrepreneur, had built an empire, never realizing that the brilliant accountant managing his finances in Nigeria was the same woman his father had chosen for him. Paul returns. After years abroad, Paul decided it was time to return to Nigeria. He wanted to personally oversee his business operations and, more importantly, meet the wife he had only known through phone calls. He had imagined her many times, but the reality remained uncertain. Would he even love her? On his first day back at Royale Group, Paul decided to keep a low profile. Instead of announcing himself as the owner, he chose to work undercover as a new executive to understand the company's internal workings. That was when he saw her. Helen walked into the conference room with confidence, her beauty radiating in a simple yet elegant dress. Paul found himself mesmerized. She was stunning, intelligent, and captivating. Throughout the meeting, he couldn't take his eyes off her. She spoke with precision, analyzing financial strategies, completely unaware that the man she was presenting to was not just the CEO, but also her husband, a growing attraction. Days turned into weeks, and Paul found himself drawn to Helen. He admired her work ethic, her kindness, and the way she commanded respect. But he was torn. He was already married. How could he be falling for another woman? Helen, too, felt something unusual. She had never been attracted to any man before, but this new executive intrigued her. He was different, charming, intelligent, and caring, but she reminded herself that she was a married woman, bound to a man she had never seen. They both struggled with their emotions, hiding their growing affection while secretly longing for each other. The unraveling secret. One evening, Paul's father invited him home for a family dinner. Helen, who had remained close to Chief Olumide, was also invited. Paul arrived first, and as they sat in the grand dining room, Helen walked in. Paul froze. Helen stopped in her tracks. The silence in the room was deafening. Helen arrives for dinner, warmly greeting Chief Olumide. Seated at the table, looks up and freezes. Helen gasps. "You." Silence fills the room as the shocking realization hits them. Paul and Helen step outside, emotions overwhelming them. "All this time, we've been right in front of each other," Paul says, shaking his head in disbelief. Helen laughs softly, wiping away tears. Fate has a strange way of working. They share their feelings, realizing they had unknowingly fallen in love with each other. Paul gently takes Helen's hands. "I loved you before I met you. Now that I have, I never want to let you go." Helen smiles, tears in her eyes. "Neither do I." He leans in and they share their first real kiss as husband and wife, finally embracing the love that had always been theirs.